welcome back to my channel. It's me, Ylli. Today I'm gonna react to this storytelling, man. There's people who survived through some crazy stuff and they're lucky to be alive, man. Like, there's so much, like, you gotta have so much faith in God, because sometimes you go through so much, and just hearing other people's stories, and like, you be like, damn, I'm grateful, I'm thankful. You gotta, like, you know what I mean? To like, just, people go through so much, and sometimes we gotta just stop and think, you know what I mean? But yeah, I can't wait to hear his side of the story, what he been through, and it just makes me stronger and better. And when I hear like stories that just, you know, gives me that, like, you know, you can do anything, don't give up in your like dreams and all that. Life is too short, man, to live your life to the fullest. I know we're gonna have hard times in life, but you can't give up. But some people, they don't choose that, it just happens, you know what I mean? But yeah, I hope you guys love this video. Subscribe, like, and comment, and yeah, follow me on IG, Star.ylli, and let's watch this, you guys. It's touching.
I'm ready. Go ahead whenever you're ready.
All right, my name is Ross Capicchione. I'm from Macomb, Michigan, a suburb outside of Detroit.
Okay.
Start with your story of love.
How it happened?
Yeah.
Well, it happened like I was a junior in high school, you know, 17-year-old punk shit. Just doing my thing, skating, hanging out.
What I mean is basically there's no...
This kid supposedly was supposed to be my friend, and I knew this kid for 10 years prior before this day. He asked me, hey, can you give me a ride to my cousin's house, you know, down in D? All right, yeah, well, like, what part? Like, the west side or the east side? And he's like, the east side. And I was like, nah, man, I don't got no business on the east side, you know? He's like, no, it's cool, man. Like, the east side, that's like 7 Mile, like, it's like a third world country. The police, they won't stop and get out the car. They won't pull you over. If there's gunshots, they'll wait till everything's clear and they'll come pick your body up off the street and that's it. He's like, please, man, please. I'm like, no. So like a week goes by, you know, I'm still telling him no, like, because I had a feeling, like, don't go down there. Kept asking me, I'll give you 30 bucks.
First of all, don't listen to your friends to pressure you to do something in life. I never, like, followed my friends. I never, like, no. When I said no, no, it's gonna be no. I'm not doing nothing what you want me to do. You know what I mean? But just watch your back, you guys. Don't trust anybody like that, like, with, like, 100%. It's crazy.
Gas, all this shit. I'm like, all right, whatever. You know, you're my friend. I'll take you down there.
He went.
I go to school that day, and I get out, and everything seems normal. We go to the gas station. He gives me the money for gas. I drive down there. So I get off, and it's just like I get that eerie feeling like you're in the bad spot. But it's like broad daylight out, beautiful day like today. And we're driving, and he's telling me where to go, and we pull out in the street, and, you know, there's people outside, and he's like, all right, that's the house right there. So he's like, you know, pull around back in the back. Like, when I turned the corner to go right, like, I seen it was like the caution, like, do not enter and all this shit, but I still, you know, because I knew him for so long, I just thought, you know, it's the D, it's, you know, whatever. There was a fence, like a grass area, my vehicle, and then houses right there. So it was like, nah, I wasn't in the middle of nowhere or anything. And like, I get out, and he gets out, and it's only a couple seconds, I'm looking around. My ears are ringing, I'm like, man, that was close. And I kind of just glanced down, and my arm's just hanging off. Just hanging off like a zombie. And I'm just looking at it, I'm like, yeah, this is, you know, it's not real. And I kind of shake it off and look again, and it's just hanging off my arm. And I'm like, okay, then it kicks in, like blood, like flowing, like an animal. And then I look up, and this kid's just holding a shotgun, like 10 feet away from me, just holding it right at me. And I asked him, I said, like, did you shoot me? And he just...
Oh my God, my heart. Again?
Blew a hole in my chest like this big. So after that, I just dropped to my knees. I lost all my hair. I couldn't see.
Oh my God. You guys hear this shit? That's why I don't trust people on God. And it's not just him. I used to hear stories like best friends will set, like, or friends or whatever you want to call them. They will set them up and just bad stuff will happen. Like, a lot of people got killed from, like, friends or whatever. No.
Being on my, like, you know, on my hands and knees, and I felt the barrel of the gun on my head. felt this barrel just shaking still on my head, and so I smacked it away. But there was a shotgun, so it sprayed. So it still like hit me in the head
Oh
really
my
good, but it didn't blow my
God.
head off like a watermelon, just to pieces. So
How
after that,
is
I
he
got a little
alive?
sight, and I was like, okay, I'm still moving. Like, I don't know what's going on with my head, but I know I'm alive. And I remember I looked up, and he was just staring at me. And he took the butt of the gun
my
and like
God,
smashed me in the face with it. Knocks my teeth out. Like I fall back, but I can still see at this point, and I don't understand like how I can see because I have so much damage to like my lung and heart. I felt like these hands like in my pocket digging for my car keys. When he's trying to grab my keys, like I ended up on my stomach. And I look up and I see my Jeep Commander driving away, just driving away, flying away. And I said, okay, well, either I stay laid down in this spot right here and die, or I try to get up. So I try to push myself up, but like take my left arm, take it right out. So gunshot to the chest, bigger than a soup bowl, and then my head all mashed up. And I'm trying to push myself off the ground. Kept trying and trying, and I'm like, all right, you know what? One more. I'm gonna try it one more time. And I pushed up, and then out of nowhere, I felt these arms from underneath me pick me up. And I remember like swinging, trying to grab someone, and there was no one around. And I was just like standing up still, like a drunk, just like, zombie, just like. And I got this like a shove, like someone shoved me from behind to go forward. I must have got about 7-8 feet. I just fell straight down. Because I remember I hit the ground like on my stomach. I'm like, all right, well, I went as far as I could. This shit's hurting like too much. Like, let me just close my eyes and start relaxing. Sure enough, I closed my eyes and all the pain started going away. And then I'd wake up real fast and be like, this is not right. I just got shot 30 seconds ago. How's the pain stopping? And I'm like, don't worry about it. Go back to sleep. That's a good feeling when you're sleeping. So I'll pass back out a little bit, and then I'd be like dying. And then I'd wake myself up, like my own voice, third person. Hey, man, get up, man, you're dying. And then like, I did that, and then I heard, hey, hey. And I like started hearing this guy, and he's like running over to me. So when I fell, there was like a probation officer at a stoplight, and he seen me fall out of the woods, like all bloody broad daylight. And then I felt his hand on my back, like, hey, man, you're fine, don't close your eyes. Come
so
on, the ambulance is
lucky,
coming, they're coming.
man.
I'm like, man, I just want to sleep, leave me
Nobody
alone, man.
knows.
But then
You
in my
see
head,
this
I'm like, no, you
place?
don't, because if you
Imagine
fall
that.
asleep, you're sleeping forever.
That was God, man.
And I remember like getting on the stretcher, and they're putting me in the stretcher, and just like the facial expression of the paramedic was just like, just a stunned look on his face, but in the same time telling me I looked great. I looked beautiful, like you're gonna be fine. And then it just like blacked out, and I went to like I was outside of the ambulance on my skateboard, filming it, like rolling telephoto filming of the ambulance, and the doors open, everyone's panicking, and I see my legs coming out, and like once it gets to my head, blacked out. I was pronounced dead on arrival right there. John Doe, had nothing on me. They said, Doc, this kid's, gone, and Doc said no. I'm here, let me try. Like, when I was pronounced dead on arrival, like, throw him in the body bag, he's dead. Like, the doctor said no, like, I'm gonna try to help him. This man doesn't know who I am. He could have said, yeah, he's dead, all right, I'm going back home. He said, no, like, I feel something, I'm gonna try. Did the heart surgery, gave me 24 hours to, see if I was still breathing on the ventilator. After 24 hours, I was still alive. They fixed my arm and my head, and I woke up 3 days later. I remember like waking up, and it was still all white, like white everywhere, and I'm like, dead. I'm 17, I'm dead. And then
Innocent kid,
it starts to
man.
like come in, and it's like I see curtains, like a freaking oxygen tank, and I'm like started. Then out of nowhere, bam, perfect vision again. I'm in a hospital. And then I'm like tied down to the bed because I got the breathing tube in me. I got this thing pumping air into my
Just
lungs, so I start
imagine
freaking out.
that,
But there was a nurse there the whole time, though. I didn't even notice her because I was all tied down. And I just hear screaming like, he's awake! He's awake! And I see her like running out of the room, and then like running back, like 3 more nurses and the doctor, just this woman just coming around the corner flying, like throws her clipboard in the air, runs up to me, oh my God, you look beautiful, like. And in my head, I'm like, what do you mean? I look beautiful. I can't even, what's going on? Why am I tied down? And then she's like, all right, 1, 2. And like on 2, she pulled that thing out of my throat, man. I got like, I got to breathe again, like real air, like, and, you know, of
That's
course I coughed up
crazy,
a
though.
ball of tar and BBs, but everyone was just looking at me like, hey, you're alive, like you're breathing on your own right now. Like, what's your name?
Miracle,
I don't
man.
know. What year is it? What? Who's the president? Huh? Is there any way we could contact anyone you know with a phone number? I was like, 2-7. Out of anything, my name, anything, the year, the only thing I remembered after that was my father's phone number.
Wow.
For 3 days, my family didn't know. My father was outside, like, spraying out the garage, and he got the phone call from the hospital saying, I think we got your son, he's been shot,
I got the
but he's
chills.
alive.
Oh,
So, I don't know how my parents ended. I don't know how that feels, like, you're a father, like, so, I don't know, it chokes me up, because, like, it's crazy, but they came down there, and I remember, like, I seen my mom come in and my dad, and I'm looking at him, I was like, Mom, you can't get mad at me right now. She's like, Mad? You're alive, you're alive.
that's crazy.
After, like, the 4th day, they were like, all right, get up, you know, start walking, like, let's go. I'm like, let's go where? He's like, you're going home tomorrow. I'm like, it's been 5 days. He's like, dude, you're going home. What, do you want to live in a hospital? You want to go live your life again? I'm like, sir, I got a hole in my chest the size of a teacup. He's like, listen, Ross, I'll give you a tip of advice. You live through this, you're going to be okay. Just go home, live your life.
That's
Don't hang out with
crazy.
these kids anymore. After 5 days, they sent me home. So, like, I'm shot, you know? My parents are asking me questions. My dad's asking me, what are we going to do about it? And I'm like telling him, like, Dad, I know who did it, you know? The next day, like, out of a movie, like, these men in suits came in. And my dad's like, yeah, can I help you? And they pull out their, you know, badges and FBI, you know. They say the kid's name. And I'm like, yeah, I know him, that's who shot him. He's like, oh, could you identify him through a picture? I was like, of course. Pull out a picture of the kid. I said, that's him right there. He said, Ross, we have him in custody.
Imagine you, the person who tried to kill you, like shot you, but he thinks that you did, right? Like he thinks he did his job, but you are still alive. Wow, that's incredible. That's crazy, man. I don't know what I would done. Like, I don't know. I didn't hear all the rest of it, but I would have come for him. But still, you can't do that though either. You don't want to do that. The same shit what he did. You don't want to do that. You know what I mean? Just gotta, like, you know, he has to pay for it. But that's crazy, man.
How? I just woke up like 2 days ago. I just learned how my name again, like how to talk. He's like, the day Blank shot you, he called Blank and told him. So this kid shoots me and calls his buddy and says, hey, I shot Ross, he's dead. Kid's like, no, you didn't, you're lying. Because imagine another 15-year-old kid saying to a 15-year-old kid, you know?
That's crazy.
So after they hang up, the kid he told calls the police on him. And he was met by SWAT team right at his front yard. Got him. And, like, all I had to do was go to court and testify against him.
That's crazy.
I went in there, man, in a wheelchair, head still stapled, no teeth, 105 pounds because of all the blood I lost, arm cast, and I sat in front of 40 of his family and him, and he couldn't look me in the eye. He had his head down the whole time.
Crazy.
I had to tell my story like this to everyone. That was the first one. I had to go back
You was shocked.
to final sentencing, and that's when I was healed. Like, so I walked back in the courtroom the second time. He comes out in a purple suit, top hat, cane, and sunglasses. This is the kid who shot me at court, smiling. While his family cheers him on, says, like, way to shoot Ross, called me a coward because I was taking the justice route. Like, I didn't lower myself to his standards and go try to kill him. I spoke, and the judge, like, looked at this kid and said, you know, said his name, and he said, yo, Ross, thank you. And the kid just looked at the judge like, what do you mean? He's like, because if you would have killed Ross that day, you would have got life in prison. But since Ross was a warrior and survived, you get a second chance, and he just slammed the gavel on him. He said, you'll have fun in prison for 35 years.
35 years?
Well,
He
I found out
deserved
that
more.
the cause of the shooting
The
was
fuck?
because he had to join a gang. That was his initiation was
He
kill a
deserved
random
more than
person.
that.
He had to pick someone, so he just thought.
He really destroyed this
gotta
man's
pick.
life for life. What the fuck? He probably traumatized. Like, he can't trust
Yeah,
nobody.
that happened in 2007.
Nothing. He can't do.
About 4 years.
I don't know.
And I'm telling you, the first 2 were the hardest. Like, it's hard, like waking up and knowing like someone trying to like shoot you down. You got to get through that every day.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, seeing people. Like, I get on a bus, public bus. I'm freaking out the whole
That's
time.
what
Like,
I'm
I don't
saying.
trust anyone on the bus.
That's so
For a while,
true.
my mother had to like take care of me as like how you do an infant, like washing, changing, feeding.
Yeah, they
Like, I'm
not
17
go through
years
what
old,
you've
I'm
been
like,
through,
I'm
man. This
not
man
baby.
been through a lot.
I can't
And,
move. I got no hand. I can't talk. I'm all sweet. And my dad and mom were like, Ross, like, come on, like the doctors say, like, give it time. Then all my friends like coming to see me, hanging out with me. I started getting more positive. One day I woke up and I felt different. Like, I was like, you know what? This is my world. That's when I like every time in physical therapy, like I would try to do something, mess up. I'd be like, well, it's like a nollie backside flip. Like, you're gonna mess up until you try it and land it. When I'd mess up, I'd be like, nollie backside flip, and then I'd get it. Like, I'd do something with my hand and like put the thing in, and the doctor would be like, oh yeah, good job, like you did it. I'd be like, So I like started living my life as like skateboarding. It's been working.
that's incredible, man.
I'm very blessed. I see it now. Like when before, I'm like, well, like I'm so unlucky. Like I went through all this getting shot, and
He's gonna
really,
make
like
you
I look at it
cry.
now after like maturing and growing up. Like it just gave me like a whole new leg up on life and how I can live my life. And it's crazy. Like it's like makes me happy to be alive, and just like so grateful for everything. Like I just look at what I got. I don't look at what I don't have.
Oh
Look at what I
my
have.
God. This was amazing. Sad too, but I'm so happy that he's alive. And God gave him another chance. And this man been through a lot. This is what I'm saying. There are people out there who've been through so much more than me. But I feel like everybody, like, you have to still be so blessed. And sometimes we don't appreciate, life and all this that we, you know what I mean? You're just lucky to be alive, and then you just gotta appreciate it day by day. You just have to be blessed and thank God that you another day and still doing your thing. You know what I mean? There are people who go through so much out there. You know what I mean? You don't even know. But we just gotta keep our head up and keep working hard and go after our dreams and be blessed to be alive and healthy and all that, and grateful about everything. You know what I mean? So I hope you guys loved this video. I did. I enjoyed it. Thank God he's okay. And yeah, man, that was so like hard to like hear. So hard to hear. But God is good. God is great. And yeah, hope you guys love this video. Subscribe, like, and comment. And go follow me on IG, Star.ylli. And I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.